Welcome to Amazing World Channel.
Tomorrow, 21 September, the Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement CETA between the EU and Canada enters into force provisionally. Welcoming this milestone in the EU's trade policy, President of the European Commission JeanClaude Juncker said this agreement encapsulates what we want our trade policy to be, an instrument for growth that benefits European companies and citizens, but also a tool to project our values, harness globalization and shape global trade rules. This trade deal has been subject to an in-depth parliamentary scrutiny which reflects the increased interest of citizens in trade policy. The intense exchanges on CETA throughout this process are testimony to the democratic nature of European decision-making. Commissioner for Trade Cecilia Malmström said CETA is a modern and progressive agreement, underlining our commitment to free and fair trade based on values. It helps us shape globalization and the rules that govern global commerce. Moreover, CETA underlines our strong commitment to sustainable development and protects the ability of our governments to regulate in the public interest. The new Department for International Trade in the UK also welcomed that CETA was about to enter into force, but at no point in its short gift does the department acknowledge that the achievement is a European one. The provisions of CETA will take effect from Thursday. Here's what it means for you. greettradepic.twitter.comqwfeae8dll Department for Trade at Radegovic, September 19, 2017. Secretary of State for International Trade, Dr. Liam Fox published an article today in Brexit Central, a publication to reassure those who supported the campaign to leave the EU. In the article, he writes it's ironic that for the past 40 years Britain has remained a champion of free trade, while lacking the freedom to truly practice what we preach. All that is about to change. What and how this is going to change is a little difficult to fathom. We assumed that Fox was referring to a change for the better. The Secretary of State has already said that the UK will adopt the current EU WTO schedule on concessions and goods, and leaving the EU will mean more restricted access to the EU's market and services. The UK's decision to leave the customs union and single market will mean that companies will face additional red tape and expense. Other British ministers have also made it clear that a bonfire of regulations is not imminent, because the UK will need to keep those regulations in place to ensure access to the EU's single market. Other European countries, such as Ireland, are looking forward on building on the opportunities of CETA. This is Justin Trudeau on his visit to Ireland. Background: the provisional application of CETA on 21 September follows its approval by EU member states, expressed in the Council, and by the European Parliament. It will only enter into force fully and definitively, however, when all EU member states have ratified the agreement. The Commission will work with EU countries and Canada to ensure its smooth and effective implementation. Comments: Facebook comments tags Canada, CETA, UK Category A front page, Brexit Canada, Economy, EU, UK, World.